You gotta kick it off with a killer to grab attention. Then you gotta take it up a notch.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us.
Who are you? I'm Shiva, the god of death.
Cells. Interlinked.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Folks, welcome to Debaser, a film podcast. I'm Jared Rusk, and I'm joined by my co-host, Will.
I don't have a clever thing to say this time.
You just say, I'm the creator.
Oh, shit. I should have said, I'm Nirmata.
You got there eventually. Anyway, on this show, we explore both new and familiar movies as we attempt to analyze and interpret them, all in an effort to debase the films and ourselves.
Nirmata. Do you want to hit him with a Nirmata quote?
I don't have a Nirmata quote.
Oh, the name Nirmata means something to AI.
That was the intro title card on this film drops that Nirmata means the creator. And it's like, okay, cool, great. That's helpful. Sure. All right. It's like, yeah, if you
didn't think that was cute?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. We've got a long hour ahead of us. Jesus Christ.
You sound so offended like you wrote this movie.
What if I did, dude? Actually, to be fair, Jared,
you'd be a lot richer, buddy.
So A, I'd be a lot richer. B, this movie, as you did tell me in a text message, is right up my alley.
Oh yeah.
This movie would have come out of my head.
I didn't understand why you weren't more excited for this movie.
Because I had
to break it down for you, which I'm going to cover if you're listening. I'm sorry. We'll get into this.
No. So I remember when you showed me the trailer for it, and I was like, this is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do like it hits all the slots, right? It's sci-fi. It's got a little bit of a grunge thing to it. Excuse me. And the visuals are great.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever. It came out in the summer, dude. It came out during my busiest time.
Oh, I see what you're saying,
bro. I had three fucking shows within 2 months, right when it was showing.
But yeah, this was like, even when I tried to introduce you to it, it still like remained under your radar, and you forgot who Gareth Edwards was too.
Okay. So to be fair, I always get Colin Trevorrow and Gareth Edwards mixed up.
Insane thing.
I don't know how it happens, but it does.
It's insane.
It happens every fucking time, every single time. I'm sorry about that. But the other thing too is like it was during the strike, right? And we were already,
and they couldn't really promote it, so they did some weird publicity
So they
stunts.
couldn't promote it, and then we really couldn't talk about it because we had already taken that stance,
right?
So and like I can't remember what we were covering during summer because like we were gearing up to talk about Barbie, right? And we were talking about the Indiana Jones stuff, and then boom, out of that, nothing. Yep. And so like I didn't give it the time of day because I wanted to see it, but like I was just gonna find it on streaming, you know. And lo and behold, my diligence paid off. I didn't have to pay to see this movie. Granted, I probably should have because I did enjoy what I watched, but that was my mindset.
This movie like is worth the price of admission.
Yes.
Like it is worth seeing in a theater, like because the visual effects are wowing, and that's one of the best things about Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth Edwards has.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry,
I was gonna say like okay. So watching this film, sorry, we're watching. We're talking about the 2023 film "The Creator" by Gareth Edwards. So sorry, guys.
When the war started, they protected me. Took better care of me than humans would have.
They're not people, Maya. It's just programming.
10 years ago today, the artificial intelligence created to protect us detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles. This is a fight for our very existence.
Sergeant Taylor, we are this close to winning the war. But the AI are developing a super weapon. Retrieve it, or they win.
Did you locate the weapon?
Yeah, it's just a kid.
Are you going to heaven?
No. You gotta be a good person to go to heaven.
So we're the same. We can't go to heaven because you're not good. And I'm not a person.
Do you have any idea what the thing is?
She looks like a little girl now, but she's growing. The whoever has that kid wins the war.
Whose side you want, huh?
What do you want, sweetie?
For robots to be free.
Oh, we don't have that in the fridge. How about ice cream?
Starring,
it's in the title. They're not that lost.
Whatever. Starring the guy from fucking the damn Nolan film. What's his name?
Tenet?
Yeah, Tenet.
Wait, do you not know the connection with this film and last week's movie?
No.
Do you not know who John David Washington is?
No.
He's Denzel Washington's son. Will, are you for real? Are you fucking kidding me?
I didn't even know Denzel Washington had a kid.
Did you not? Were there not scenes where he's talking and you're like, Jesus, that sounds just like Denzel?
No, all I could see was his Tenet performance.
Even in Tenet, you didn't realize that was Denzel's kid.
He's not his dad. He's not his dad.
I will admit, he's not like a carbon copy, but there are moments where he is talking and I hear his dad.
I fucking see it, dude. I did not see it. I'm so sorry.
Holy shit. Hey. I was intentionally, I picked this back to back with Glory. Because it had just come out on video on demand, and I wanted to see it.
And B, this is Dad Baser, and we all only talk about dad stuff now.
Absolutely,
I should have
Dad's
seen that.
all the way down.
I
Oh my god,
seen that. That's my bad.
But yeah, you pitched Glory to me, and I was like, and I already wanted to like, hey, let's do the Creator.
Yeah,
and I was like, let's do Glory one week, and then the Creator the next week because there's a connection there. It's Denzel and then his son.
Brother, I had no idea.
Oh my god, well, I'm so glad we had that revelation on the podcast. What I was gonna say, I'm so glad I let you finish that. Holy shit, that was crazy. What I was gonna say was, you always get Gareth Edwards, the director, confused with Colin Trevorrow.
I don't know how
piece of shit.
I'm gonna be, and here's why. Right? Do you want to know why? It's a real simple.
Because they both were at one point connected to Star Wars movies.
That's
I guess
what it is.
Okay,
that's exactly what it is.
But Colin Trevorrow never actually made one.
I know. Because Gareth Edwards did Rogue One, and he was in The Last Jedi,
which we're going to talk about if anyone is listening.
Yeah,
there's a whole lot to get into there.
And then Colin Trevorrow was going to do the third film, but then that fell through. And for some reason, I always think Colin Trevorrow was the one that was in The Last Jedi,
right,
as a cameo, as a nod to the next film.
Right.
But that's not the case. It's fucking Gareth Edwards.
Right.
And I don't know how it keeps happening, because I also get him mixed up with the guy that did You're Next and Death Note, because Gareth Edwards did 2014 Godzilla, and the guy who did You're Next did Godzilla vs. King Kong.
Oh, yeah.
They're three white guys, and I get them all mixed up, and I'm so sorry.
I'm about to blow your mind. Because
Fuck.
I always get Gareth Edwards
mixed
confused
up
with Gareth Evans.
Gareth Evans, who's that?
He wrote and directed The Raid and The Raid 2.
Oh, fuck.
Some of my favorite movies.
Really
and
good
also,
films.
some of those guys are in Rogue One, the Gareth Edwards Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Oh, dude, not just that. They're in fuck. What's the carbon copy of The New Hope? The first, Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
Yeah, fucking Conja Club. All of Conja Club is like the guys from The Raid, because they helped do the stunt work for the new Star Wars movies.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
To quote the Wayne's World.
Boom, there you
go. But also, so I always get Gareth Edwards and Evans confused.
Yeah.
I thought they were the same guy. Because I remember when Rogue One came out, I was like, it's by the guy that did the Raid movies. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And there's even like cameos, or like, not even just cameos, like some of the lead actors.
Some of the guys are
like straight up like Raid dudes. And I was like, that fucking rules.
Yeah, it's cool.
They're two different guys. And they're both Gareth, which is a pretty unique name in its own.
And they have an
E last name. And I honestly, I think a year ago, realized they were two separate people.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh my God, the Godzilla guy didn't do the Raid.
See, yeah, for me, it's Godzilla and it's Star Wars. And for whatever reason, they just like I'm already like really hype about those things, so I just forget who's doing what. I think that's what the problem is.
Gareth Evans,
the
Raid guy,
yes,
also did that amazing short called Safe Haven on VHS2 that we love.
Oh yes, dude, Safe Haven is so fucking good. Is Gareth Evans from the
Indonesia?
Asiatic? Yeah,
I'm actually not sure. He might be. Look that
let
up
me
for me.
look
Actually,
it up.
we should have that on pod. To be correct.
Because he no, dude, he's from Wales. He's a Welsh filmmaker.
Did he just like move to Indonesia and like befriend all those guys to make those movies or something?
It's got to be because hold on. Is a Welsh filmmaker and action choreographer. He's best known for Indonesian action films Merantau, Merantau, which I guess is what we need to check out.
I've not seen. I want to check it out. Yeah,
The Raid 1 and 2, and for bringing the Indonesian martial art of Pencat Silat into world cinema through these films.
Yeah.
That's it, man. He lives in the UK, bro.
He must have moved to Indonesia and like met these guys.
Must
and was
have,
like, let's make these movies. Yeah. Interesting.
Very weird.
Anyway, we're talking the creator.
Yeah.
So this movie, okay, we have to talk about this. It's written and directed by Gareth Edwards. It is his kind of his blank check movie to reuse a phrase that's common in movie podcasting. I love the blank check podcast. I just feel like I reference it too much, but
they lost me with old.
That's fine.
They're probably never going to listen to them again because they're wrong.
Your loss.
No, they're wrong.
You cannot agree with people and still listen to their podcast.
Not anymore, man. They're not experts. Sorry, I'd much rather listen to ours.
Anyway, fair enough. But anyway, Gareth Edwards, if you don't know, directed the 2014 film Godzilla, as we mentioned, and the 2017 was Rogue One.
Yeah, because it came out after the other two. Yeah.
I believe it was 2017. Yeah, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This dumbest subtitle.
Just Rogue One. You could just call it that.
Yeah. So Rogue One was, by many accounts, a troubled production. Now, none of this is official. None of this is on the record.
But you can tell from the commercials.
Well, that and there's a lot of trailers that have scenes that weren't in the movie.
Yep.
There's a lot of scuttlebutt by people that worked on set. Cast and crew. There's an entire podcast that I started, but I did not finish in time. It's hours and hours.
Send me that because I want to listen to that.
Right? And then we can text about it. Yeah. It's called Going Rogue, if anyone wants to listen to it.
That's fucking rad.
It's a podcast about how this film was first imagined by a guy that worked on episode 3. Yeah. And it went through so many different phases before it finally got made.
The third prequel movie was unironically the best of the prequel movies.
No.
Okay.
No. It's not Phantom Menace to you?
No. Phantom Menace sucks. You kidding me? It gave us pod racing and Duel of Fates and double bladed lightsabers. That's fucking cool as shit. But
episode 3, when I was 16, was awesome.
Yeah, it was fucking cool as shit, dude.
15?
It was. We were both in high school.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool at the time. Yeah. But going back now, I'm like, it's Phantom Menace every day.
Okay. We don't. It's all good. We don't have enough time to fucking unpack that.
I know, right? That could be a whole podcast as us debating
which one is better. Anyways, so it was troubled from the beginning.
Yeah. Troubled from the beginning. Gareth Edwards directed the movie.
Yes.
And then it goes to the the studio, Disney, whatever, and they're not happy. They're just not happy with it.
Right.
And so the scuttlebutt is, from what I understand, is Tony Gilroy. I believe he wrote the screenplay for the film.
Yes, and also he did Andor.
Right. Well, so people know him now as
the Andor guy.
Writer and creator of Andor, the very excellent TV show that's kind of a tie-in to Rogue One.
Yes.
He's also the writer and director of Michael Clayton 2007 film that fucking rules, and we'll cover on this podcast. I promise you, I'm going to force you to watch that movie,
you told me
if I have to do it Clockwork Orange style, where I strap you down and put things over your eyes.
I'm amicable. You don't have to do that. You just say, "Hey, Will, watch this," and I fucking watch it.
We will do it very soon. Now that the strike is over, I'm so fucking pumped to cover that movie. Will, you don't understand. I love that movie so much. I don't think it's in your wheelhouse. I think you'll appreciate it, but I digress.
Okay.
So the scuttlebutt is that Disney was largely unhappy with Rogue One.
Right.
And so they bring in Tony Gilroy to do tons of reshoots and rewrites. And Gareth Edwards is not technically involved, I believe, or at least he is on set, maybe for DGA rules, a Directors Guild of America
right.
rules, and but Tony Gilroy is largely apparently directing these reshoots, but for DGA reasons, Disney leaves Gareth Edwards in the credits as the sole director.
Yes,
and when they're doing the publicity tour, the press tour and everything, Gareth is very like happy and appreciative and is like, yeah, Disney, like, let me do what I want. We made a great movie, blah, blah, blah. He does not insinuate that there were any problems behind the scenes to this day.
Yeah.
Even on the press tour for the creator, he is like, there's a lot of misunderstandings and misinformation about what happened behind the scenes on Rogue One. He was like, he doesn't clarify.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
But he just shoots down the rumors. Yeah. But the rumors persist to this day.
You got to get along to get along,
I think one day there will be a great tell-all book, maybe written by like an investigative journalist about this. Because like, yeah, it's not like that important, but like we all want to know.
Yeah,
we
want to know what's up.
Because the same thing happened to Solo. Because Disney was fucking doing that, and it's like, just let people make a weird movie.
It would have been
Lord
cool
and Miller
to see,
make that weird movie.
The Lord and Miller version of that film.
Now, do I think Tony Gilroy is a more talented writer and director than Gareth Edwards?
Yes. After watching this movie, yes.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because like, as you explained this to me earlier today while I was watching the film, and I was only like 25 minutes in, I thought to myself, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
You get along to get along. You get a blank check to make your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people get that opportunity to make what they want to make.
To make their vision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The problem with that is when that vision has some internal problems and becomes
or is extremely derivative.
Yeah, it becomes very middling, and it's that's really unfortunate. I'm glad that Gareth got to make his film.
Well, let me
go ahead.
Let me finish that.
Yeah,
thought,
sorry.
The reason I go into all of this Rogue One hoobaloo,
right,
is because I think that's why he has his blank check.
Yes,
because he was so amicable with Disney about it and was never forthcoming about there being issues, even though there was so much rumor to the contrary, that I think Disney was like, listen, he played ball with us the whole time.
Yep.
Let's throw him a bone and let him make an original IP movie with like an $80 million budget and just let him have a field day with it. Like, obviously he's like a decent enough director. It's not going to be a huge bomb, but like, we owe him one essentially. And I think that's why he got a blank check for this. That is my theory.
I think it's a pretty solid one.
I mean, that's why it's my
because
theory.
How often
I appreciate that.
Yeah, how often do we get original IP?
Exactly. The last movie that's like this that I can think of is
Pacific Rim.
No, I was going to say Live, Die, Repeat.
Oh, did that come after Pacific Rim?
Fuck, that's a good question. I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, go check that out. But yeah. Well, so I mean, Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
2014 for that
was a. Oh yeah, no. Pacific Rim came out after 2014, I believe.
1 year later.
Yep.
Oh, that was 2.
Oh,
so
Pacific Rim 2 came
actually,
out 1 year after
2018, 2013 for 1.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess the last good original IP was Edge of Tomorrow. I will say that it did start off as a manga, but like
but often, it has so little in common with it.
Right.
Like having read it, I was like, wow, there's like not much of it in here,
Yeah. No, but I agree. Edge of Tomorrow was a really good film. Completely different from a lot of the stuff that we've seen. Like, oh yeah, you could break it down to be like, oh, it's Groundhog's Day, but sci-fi war movie. But that's hardly the case.
Well, that's like the premise in a nutshell.
Right.
Like the creator is like AI kid has to save the world kind of thing, Like,
well, no. The creator is the Blomkamp trio.
I'm so glad you invoked it first.
I say I knew you. I'm glad.
I got a whole thing about it.
I knew that when you sent me the hey, it's right up your alley, is because you fucking
actually
no
didn't mean that because
okay
just because
you know me,
I know you like we love big budget sci-fi movies, especially if they're original IP.
Yes,
like that's our fucking like
that is our jam.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I can't wait for us to do fucking Pacific Rim. I fucking love that film. Oh my God. You love that fucking film. Let's just
one of the best theater experiences I've ever had.
100%
to this day.
Yeah,
like we'll be in the top 5.
Yes,
it's like that Blade Runner 2049.
When you saw Avatar in XD.
Oh yeah, Avatar 2 and 4DX.
Yeah, there it is.
That's probably it. That's my pantheon right there, dude. Oh my God.
But like,
anyway,
no. But yeah, I agree. As you said, Edge of Tomorrow, best IP, original IP to come out in nothing has come since to build upon that. And I would agree with you. I fucking love Edge of Tomorrow. It's a fucking great movie. It's stupid.
We'll probably never get a movie like that where it's like that big of a budget, that good of stars. Like Christopher McQuarrie obviously is an amazing filmmaker. He's gone on to make so many good films even since then. Yeah. But like Hollywood's never going to make that kind of movie again for a long time anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. And that's really unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yes, having the ability to make what you want and having a love for sci-fi and, you know, a love for a specific type of sci-fi. I feel seen by Gareth Edwards, you know? Like, I think that he's a fan of Neill Blomkamp.
Absolutely.
And I think that
I see them as not compadres. What's the word?
Not compatriots.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
It
is a C word.
Comrades.
They're comrades in arms. Yeah. No, they're and it wasn't until this movie that really did that,
right?
Because of like
he's been doing IP films.
I've got a whole. Let me pull up my thing.
Yeah, pull up your thing.
So not to pit the sci-fi girlies against each other. But I cannot help but see Gareth Edwards as a more successful Neill Blomkamp now.
Yeah.
And I compared them because they both utilize guerrilla filmmaking techniques where they like to shoot on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like sets. They prefer like actual international locations and locales. Mm-hmm. And I almost said the word exotic, which feels xenophobic almost to say. So I've don't want to use that. But yeah, they both prefer to shoot internationally as opposed to in America or on sets, and they write sci-fi genre films with groundbreaking special effects. Because, you know, this movie felt like it could have been conceptually designed by Neill Blomkamp at some point.
Yeah, Blomkamp fucking walked for
on it.
Edwards to fucking run, dude.
Right, like this has like District 9, like
written all over. It's got District 9.
Well, it's a lot of movies wrapped together.
This is true. Yeah, it's got District 9, kind of other like xenophobic politics in it. It's got Elysium, with the overbearing dread of this thing that's beyond us.
Isn't there even something called Elysium?
It's called the Nomad because it's constantly traveling. And then it's got it's kind of got Chappie too, but whereas Chappie is an AI like learning, we already have that established. But like there's robotic police force in this, you know, even like towards the end of the movie where
getting some real Chappie vibes from this robot cop.
Yeah, well, dude, not just that, but like
I know.
They get they show early in the movie that you can get like someone's metadata from their brain and plug it into another robot.
Yeah,
and then they do it,
which is has huge ramifications that they do not get into.
They just glaze right over it. Yeah,
because there's even when John David Washington's like cleaning up the blast site at Los Angeles with that girl, and they pull a robot out, and she's like, "That was a person," and he's like, "No, it's not."
I'm like, just programming.
But they never get into this because obviously this movie's long enough.
Yeah,
they can't touch on everything. It does a lot of like subtle world building.
Yes,
and it doesn't want to like try to over-explain everything,
which I appreciated.
Yes and no.
It's a part of racism.
I thought it was going to. Well, I thought it was going to touch more on like how it works in this world, and it really didn't. But like, are the consciousnesses in these robots like just downloaded people's consciousness?
Oh, you're talking about the simulants?
Well, yeah. So are they separate from the other AI robots?
They're supposed to be.
Are they two different things?
They briefly talk about how there's 3 different types. Yeah.
Oh, I may have zoned out for this part. I'm sorry.
It's like super early on.
Right.
There's they first. Oh, it was like during. Oh man, this movie has a great montage actually at the beginning.
Yeah.
Where they talk about how robotics.
It has a very real looking like kind of like documentary footage showing. It's
fucking
like,
good.
It feels like you're looking at like Boston Dynamics videos.
Yeah.
And shit.
And then the nuke goes off. But anyways, so they talk about how they first had like learning systems in robots, and then they had simulants like borrowed a person's face and borrowed a person's like personality, but it wasn't them. It was simulated life. And then they had, I want to say like true AI, right? But that true AI, I believe, is just Alpha Omega. Like
she's the only one.
She's the only one
so far.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like the 3 different levels, and she's like the final form essentially.
Okay.
Because she was made to grow because she's like made out of like an artificial fetus.
So is she the only? Is she the first robot in this universe that's made to grow?
Yes,
because we see old men, like really old men's robots.
Yeah, I think that's still gravity like working because that's the face that's on the robot face.
Yeah,
that's like it still has like tissue that moves. I mean, there's a part where you see the colonel, the lady,
Allison Janney,
rebuilding one of them to get information out of. Like they're putting an eyeball or an eye like socket on.
Oh yeah, that. I didn't realize what was happening in that scene, and I had to like pause the movie and like process what just happened.
Yeah,
because she wanted her to think that she was being saved by her side.
Yes,
and then she just blows her head. Oh my god, that scene!
It's fucked up. But like you could make an argument that gravity still has an effect on this material, so it's still going to sag eventually. Maybe? Yes, okay. But not like it.
But not in the way that like I guess this child Alfie is growing.
Right.
Okay. Because that's why when everyone sees the child,
they're like, whoa, what the fuck?
They immediately know this is different.
Because there's no children.
They don't make children robots because they would forever be children essentially. And like, what is the point? They're not going to be useful essentially.
Right. But this one is growing because you did see the fucking fetus. It was in a robotic womb.
Right.
So like, this one is different. Is going to continue to be different. Sorry.
No, you're good. We have a lot to talk about. Like
we do have a lot to talk about. This movie's got a lot of stuff going on.
I think we both ultimately felt like this movie was a little mid.
Yeah,
there's a lot to talk about, which is I'm very appreciative of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, I guess to
so let me break into this. Obviously, we're talking about The Creator.
Yep.
It's a 2023 film and is now available to rent and purchase on VOD. It's not currently streaming on any of the major services for free right now.
Gotcha.
But again, if you like sci-fi movies, like it's
worth the purchase. Yeah, it's worth the $5 rent. Just do it.
Absolutely, yeah. Just check it out. The visuals alone, like if you've got a nice home theater setup, or you know someone that does, go to their house and check it out.
I actually need to rewatch it, but like not streaming. I need to get a copy of it
4K with surround sound.
Yeah, because my setup was struggling to stream it.
Wow.
So I had it all dumbed down, and even then it was still beautiful.
Do you have like a Roku or something?
It's a Roku. Yeah.
You might want to get something a little better.
Maybe
like a Google Chromecast. I think the Google Chromecast, it's like 35.
Gotcha.
Should be a lot better. Yeah. Anyway,
sorry.
No, that could be for everybody too.
Yeah.
If you're at home watching on like a shitty Amazon Fire Stick or like an older aging Roku.
Maybe it's time to upgrade because this movie is fucking gorgeous.
You can get a modern, like a more up to date, like 4K Roku or like the Google Chromecast, the newest one. And if you really want to go balls to the wall, you can pay for like the Apple TV or my favorite, the Nvidia Shield. But that has its own caveats. Anyway, this film stars John David Washington, who we have established as Denzel Washington's son.
Fuck, I feel so stupid.
It also stars Madeline Una Voiles, who is the Alfie.
It's Alfie.
I think this is her first film.
Yeah.
Gemma Chan, Allison Janney, Academy Award winner, by the way.
Yes.
From I, Tonya, right? That was what she won for.
Was she Tanya's mom?
She's the mom. The bitchy ass mom.
Fuck.
Yeah, she won Best Supporting Actress for that, dude.
Dude, I, Tanya's one of my favorite films. I love that movie.
It is a great movie. I know Allison Janney as CJ from The West Wing.
Oh, I never watched The West Wing.
That's okay. It probably hasn't aged that well.
No, it's all done by that one guy that like
Aaron Sorkin,
which I do like his dialogue, but
one of the best in the biz.
Yeah, 100%.
but every time he makes a movie now, I'm like, I don't know if I want to see that.
Like,
he did write Molly's Game. We were just talking about.
That's right. Dude, but the dialogue in that is so good. Yeah. But he's lived up to hell and back.
He's one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
But he is like, he's not just lived up, he's like lib poisoned. Because what little I know about the trial of the Chicago 7, I'm like, fuck this movie.
Have you not watched it?
Nope, I refuse to.
I watched it and then I listened to Chapo talk about it and they're like, this is the most bastardized.
Yeah, I would cringe so hard I would simply cease to exist.
God, I kind of want to
curl up into a ball.
I want to watch you watch that.
I would turn into the Samus Morph Ball from Metroid Prime and I would just run away and just bomb things as I go.
Chapo had a great breakdown of it. It was so fucking funny. And they were talking about how Aaron Sorkin is just like lived up to hell and back.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. He is the worst. He has the worst qualities of a liberal.
Yeah.
Fuck. I say this as someone
derailed.
No, it's fine. I say this as someone who watched and loved all 3 seasons of The Newsroom.
Okay.
His like follow up to The West Wing that was
yeah.
like even more lived up.
Yeah.
And like has aged even worse than The West Wing, because at least The West Wing, like the first like 5 or 6 seasons,
Yeah.
for the most part, still hold up. I'm sure there's stuff in there that I don't want to revisit because it's rough, but it was a really good show. Some amazing performances.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a liberal's fantasy of what the president is. But The Newsroom, buddy, The Newsroom. There's a scene where everyone who works on this prestigious like television news show is on an airplane waiting to take off, and they're getting antsy because they want to get off the plane. And then suddenly, they're the producers, right, of the show.
And like 9/11 happens.
No.
Oh.
He gets a text message informing him ahead of time before the public has learned that Osama bin Laden has been killed. And he is going apeshit because he wants to get off the plane so that he can like get the news report together for it. And he's like fighting with the stewardess and being a real asshole. And finally, like the pilot comes down and has to tell him like, you need to calm down. Like you are upsetting people. We cannot let you off this plane.
Yeah.
And he's like, sir, I just need to tell you why I'm so upset. Like we need to get off this plane because, and he's like, were you ever in the service? And the pilot's like, yes, I was. I fought in whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you look this scene up on YouTube. It's so cringy. And he's like, well, sir, it is my honor to tell you that Osama bin Laden has been killed. And he's like, are you serious? And he's like, yes. And they just like shake hands and everyone starts clapping on the plane. It sucks so bad.
Amazing.
It's not even cool.
Everyone clapped.
It's not even cool like when John Cena came out on WWE and was like,
I walk out here every night with hustle, loyalty, respect on my sleeve. That is a credo I have adopted from the men and women who defend the freedom of this country. We have caught and compromised to a permanent end Osama bin Laden.
Mr. President, we got him.
Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah,
so fucking good. God damn it.
Where the fuck were we? Allison Janney.
Allison Janney, yeah,
she
yeah.
rules. She plays CJ, the Speaker of the House. No, the press secretary in that.
I quite liked her in this. She was a stone cold badass.
Yeah, exactly. She's amazing,
but for all the wrong
her.
reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's good at playing like stern, mean people. You know. It also stacked cast. It also stars Ken Watanabe.
Ken Watanabe comes back. Yes.
Oh my god! Hollywood treats him as like token Asian guy. Like even Christopher Nolan did this.
Yeah, that's kind of
in Batman Begins.
Yeah,
like as a real shame. Although no, because he does it again in fucking Inception. He just plays the guy that bankrolls the whole thing. But like he is super good in it. But like Hollywood just treats him as like third or fourth build.
I think that Gareth grabbed him because he worked on Godzilla.
Do you want to know something?
What?
He was a last minute replacement.
You're fucking kidding me.
He was a last minute replacement for a guy who was too busy filming another movie. I forget who the guy was.
Oh, his loss? Question mark?
Yeah. But Ken Watanabe.
I like him.
Is one of our greatest living actors.
I love seeing him and everything. Also a connection to Glory, because Ken Watanabe was in The Last Samurai. Directed by
That's right.
Mr. Zwick.
Yeah, Zwick. He is in Godzilla and King of the Monsters?
Yeah, he's in King of Monsters. He dies in King of Monsters.
Oh, he dies.
He's the one that delivers the nuke to repower Godzilla because it's his fault that Godzilla got hit by the oxygen bomb.
Oh, okay.
And he feels like Hendrix. Did you know that that's the worst rated of all of them?
Dog shit opinions.
Can you fucking believe that? Dog shit opinions. Exactly. I cannot believe. I will go to my grave fucking angry that the Godzilla vs. King Kong movie is higher rated than King of Monsters or Godzilla 2014. Sorry, Gareth Edwards. King of Monsters is quintessential fucking Godzilla, modern Godzilla film.
We'll hash this out on a Godzilla episode, but like I respect 2014 Godzilla. I think it's great.
Yeah, I know, because you like the visuals.
Oh yeah. But
Gareth Edwards does.
Yes.
He's a visuals guy. I know we're gonna get into it, but like
I might as well just say it now.
Yeah.
Like this movie's fine, but the weakest part is the screenplay.
Yes.
And so if you look at Gareth Edwards' IMDb, all of the movies he's written are mid as hell. Yeah. He needs to stop writing movies. He's an amazing director.
Wait, he's the writer too?
He wrote and so this movie's credited to him and Chris Weitz.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think Chris Weitz just like punched it up for him because he is He's the guy that like created American Pie, and
Oh,
he did
okay.
Twilight New Moon.
Oh wait, that's the reason why it's got some goofy little gags in it.
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah.
But he also does like more serious movies
Okay.
now. Twilight New Moon and stuff. I'm forgetting some of them, but
It
he's
doesn't matter.
more of a writer now.
Yeah,
He punches up scripts and stuff.
Gotcha.
And produces things.
Right. He's having the exact. See, if you're gonna steal anything from fucking Neill Blomkamp, don't steal his stories. Steal his idea
his
of having
visuals.
somebody who can fucking write for him. Don't get locked into your own what you want.
Yeah.
You explain it to somebody and have them do it better than you.
Exactly. You need people to reel you in.
Yeah.
Not give you a blank check.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you've seen his other movie that he wrote before this. It's called Monsters. It came out in
I did
2013.
I saw Monsters. Monsters came out before Godzilla, and I was like very excited.
How was that?
I liked that film, but here's the thing: there's a big difference between a original IP monster movie that's low budget and a Godzilla film.
Yeah.
In Monsters, it's about two people trying to cross the border to get into America, I believe, or they're trying to get into Mexico. I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, and they have to go through a quarantine zone that has these creatures that just exist, and they're like giant octopus monsters.
Oh.
And you don't really get to see a good visual of them because it's very dark in the area. But there's like two,
and it's low budget, so they're working with
exactly.
what they can,
and so you like see silhouettes, and there's thunder and lightning flashing in the background, so you can kind of like see what's going on. And they even get attacked at a certain point, but then they escape. Right? The movie was decent.
Yeah,
it was good for like something that just was low budget.
Yeah,
and I was excited because it showed competency. And then when you do the exact same thing for Godzilla, where Godzilla is something that's in the background that you don't see very well,
or obscured for the most part of the film. Yeah,
Godzilla is an iconic creature.
Yeah,
that we have to see. You have to see him.
Well, I will argue,
excuse me,
that when you do see him or her in 2014, it's effective as hell.
Yeah, it's good, but like you can't be teasing me the whole. And then also like the bait and switch with Bryan Cranston, I don't appreciate at all.
That, but like all the human stuff in 2014 is so annoying.
Garbage.
Well, it's Aaron Taylor Johnson.
And
who has, I will admit, I'm coming around on now, but
I think he's a great actor.
But 10 years ago, he was boring as hell.
Bro, he's kick-ass. He was kick-ass.
I'm not getting into that movie too.
He was kick-ass, dude.
I'm not getting into that movie. But he's just so dull.
Sure.
And like even Elizabeth Olsen isn't saving the film.
No, and she's a great actress
she's
too.
in. Yeah. But
look,
what were we talking about?
Look. I'm sorry, you cannot evoke 2014 Godzilla without having me rant about it, because it is a disappointment on every single level, except for the part where they drop the guys in from the sky.
Yeah, the flares.
That part's cool. Kiss of Death is cool. Both
Kiss
of those
of Death,
parts,
amazing. Yeah.
Really fucking cool parts. But the fact that you have a Godzilla film where you barely...
I don't think that's his fault. He didn't write the scripts.
I don't fucking care. His name is on the product, right in the center there. Having Godzilla not be super prominent until towards the end, and then having two original monsters instead of having like one of his creatures, to fight anything. Yeah. If you want to make it an environmentalist movie, bring the fucking smog monster. He's awful. Like, you could just do that instead of these two fucking bugs. And then they brought another one of those goddamn bugs at the end of fucking King of Monsters. Worst part of the movie, by the way, is when that bug shows up. I hate that bug.
Is it called like Muto or something?
It's a Muto. That's like some stupid fucking anachronism. Like, I'm so glad that they had like actual creatures in King of Monsters. It's fucking stupid. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
What were we talking about?
I still stand up for that movie though. I think it's great.
That's fine.
But it's no King of the Monsters.
No, it's not.
Oh my God, what were we talking about before that?
You asked me if I'd seen the film that he did prior to Godzilla, which was Monsters, and I did enjoy that movie.
That was the last film that he wrote.
Oh, okay.
And apparently that film was largely improvised.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I read that the actors were not really handed a script. Like, the scenes were set up, but they were just told to kind of improvise it as they went. And I think that says a lot.
He needs somebody in his fucking corner to help him. I think that I mean, when you watch, once again, I made this statement earlier, when you watch this film, you can kind of see why Disney was not happy with Rogue One and had to bring somebody in to do reshoots. Because a lot of this film, like there was a story he wanted to tell, right? And he was doing it in a very stylized way.
Yeah.
But like, it felt like he cared more about the vignettes, like the camera holding on bits and pieces of people,
the
environment, things that didn't require acting, just the world in general. Like I felt like the movie really relied on those to do scene setting, because everything else was our guy has to go do something, he gets ambushed, he gets away, he has to go do something, he gets ambushed, he gets away. People get ambushed in this movie every fucking 10 minutes, and it blows my mind. It's kind of crazy that no one has any situational awareness to know that there's an ambush coming.
That, and it has I'm sure there's like if I dig long enough on tvtropes.com, I'll find a name for this, but it has that thing that I find so aggravating, where the protagonist is constantly like, everyone around him is dying except him.
Yeah.
It drives me bananas now, because it's in everything. And I find it so distracting and annoying.
Yeah.
Because
the final straw for me was when Drew died.
Yeah. Do you know who that was, by the way?
No, I have no idea.
That actor?
No.
His name is Sturgill Simpson.
Okay.
He is a fairly famous country singer-songwriter.
Oh, really?
That I really like. And I don't like a lot of country music.
No, I don't like country music at all. So that's interesting.
He has a really good cover of Nirvana's In Bloom.
Really?
That I like. I'll send it to you later.
Cool.
Google him, people.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
He's great. I was shocked that he was in this, and apparently I looked him up on IMDb, and he just pops up in movies every once in a while.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, but when he got when they aced him, I was like, okay, this is starting to get gratuitous.
No, absolutely.
That's when I noticed
was
the
like,
pattern.
Him too. Like fucking, they already killed his fucking girlfriend.
I know,
Jesus.
right?
And I loved how you learned so much about that guy.
Yeah,
just from like, he's the guy that like was like supposed to pull him out. Like John David Washington's character was supposed to pull him out of his cover.
Yep.
And then he's like, "Don't go native on me." But then he ends up like falling. I guess he like drops out of the military and like decides to live with these in this country where like the AI are now not outlawed. They live in harmony in what is it, like Asia? It's called New Asia or something.
Do we want to talk about like the world set?
We ought to. I'm so sorry. I haven't finished all of my like preamble.
There's so much to this film.
I know. We just jumped right into it because we're just so like
excited
eager to do
talk
this.
About it, yeah.
Okay. I haven't even read the premise, man. Against the backdrop of a war between humans and robots with artificial intelligence, a former soldier finds the secret weapon, a robot in the form of a young child. God damn, that's the most we're 41 minutes into this episode, man. That's how like pumped we are for this movie to talk about. And it's like, we were both like, it's kind of mid, but there's so much to talk about. This is crazy.
Yeah.
The film obviously was written and directed by Gareth Edwards, with additional writing by Chris Weitz. Gareth Edwards, as we have mentioned, also directed the 2014 Godzilla and Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This film had a massive budget of $80 million.
Yes, it did.
That may sound small for like a Marvel movie, but this is original IP here.
Right.
And it grossed to $104 million worldwide at the box office.
So he made his money back and then some, a little bit.
Yep, he made his money back mostly overseas because I think only 40 of that was in America.
Right.
But good, he made his money back. Okay. The film made his money back, I should say.
Right.
The film has a 66% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
And that earned that score.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it. But I feel like I more agree with the audience score, which is 76. It's a little bit more generous.
Okay, sure, yeah.
And I can kind of see why critics are harsher on this film than the audience.
Yeah, because...
well, because they've seen more movies than the audience.
That makes sense.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's more than likely the case.
David Elric of IndieWire described the film as AI, artificial intelligence, meets Children of Men, and wrote that the most fundamental reason why the creator, for all its shortcomings and cliches, ultimately sold me on its optimism is that it succeeds as a blueprint where it fails as a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not expect Children of Men to be evoked tonight.
I mean,
you can kind of see it.
It's pulling from it a little bit.
Kind of see it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's in league with.
No. Oh God, no. No. Yeah. Children of Men is
maybe one of
the best films ever made.
Movies.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, that movie like
still holds up.
Changed me.
Yeah.
Like I remember sitting in my room, like holding a DVD player in my hands. Because that was just my setup. I don't know.
Right,
I had like a little tiny 10-inch TV in my room at the time. I'm holding my DVD player in my hands because there was nowhere for it to go. And I'm like, someone had loaned me the DVD because he worked at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God. Like,
so good.
So many things changed about me watching that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry.
It's a good movie, man.
It is. It's incredible. Graham Gutman of Screen Rant wrote, while the film's story may feel overstuffed and its action sequences repetitive at times, the creator's bold vision and willingness to take risks make it a more exhilarating experience than safe, mediocre blockbusters.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
Now, I don't really have any trivia about this movie, but
That's
I
fine.
do have a point of controversy.
Okay, let's hear it.
That we have to address.
All right.
On July 17th, 2023.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
You know about this?
Is this the weird advertising or no?
Sort of.
Okay.
It's not what you're thinking, though, I think. The official trailer for The Creator received negative criticism for using footage, the 2020 Beirut explosion, as a visual effects plate shot of a futuristic Los Angeles being obliterated by a nuclear explosion. It was first noticed by a Reddit user and was subsequently covered on the YouTube channel Corridor Crew as part of their VFX Artist Reacts series. That's actually a really cool YouTube channel.
Are you
guys
telling
wanna
me
check that out.
that the big explosion?
Yes. Not the one that's used in the film.
Yeah, right.
But it was in the trailer.
Holy shit.
And I've seen it. You can look this up.
Bro,
on
that's
YouTube.
some bad form.
It is a 1-to-1 like direct. It's fucked. Now, on September 15th, 2023, during a Reddit AMA with Gareth Edwards, he revealed that the footage was never meant to be included in the trailer in the first place, and that it's typical in filmmaking that archival footage be used as placeholders for VFX shots, while revealing that the shot is not in the film itself. So it was in poor taste.
Yeah.
But it was not supposed to be released. If you're not aware, though, that the Beirut explosion, I should say, caused 218 deaths, 7,000 injuries, and over $15 billion in property damage.
It was insane.
It left 300,000 people homeless.
Jesus Christ.
It is a great tragedy that was very much in poor taste for them to use this.
Yeah.
But again, they did catch a lot of flack for it, and the director said that was an accident. We did not mean to put that out. Pretty fucked, though. But I remember when that happened. I remember watching...
That's crazy.
The day that came out, I remember looking at a GIF of side by side and being like,
oh shit.
My God,
You guys
that's
fucked up.
Fucked.
Yeah.
I don't have a plot rundown because it would be very long.
We don't need to do one because we've, these things only go about an hour, hour 15. So I got a couple of things that I wanted to touch on that I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
But also, once again, kind of points to Gareth Edwards borrowing to fill in his shortcomings, right?
From other movies.
Not just from other movies, but like real world stuff. Like I think there's I feel like there's a couple of real world allegories in this film.
Oh, okay.
So we get that montage of humanity creating AI to be like a workforce, things of that nature. And then there's that explosion that happens like in the 70s. I'm not too sure when it is, but it looks like the way that they had the filter over the camera of the government officials, it looks like it happened before like the turn of the millennia.
Oh, I thought it was like ahead, like later than now, but between now and the time of the movie.
Yeah, 2065.
Oh, is that what it says?
No, that's when the movie starts.
Okay.
That's the year that Josh Taylor is with his wife.
I got the impression that it wasn't much longer.
Well, either way, it doesn't really matter. But
Okay.
a nuke explodes in California, and the scapegoat is AI,
Right.
and so America bans AI and
Basically declares war on it.
exactly. And the only countries that are harboring AI are cool with AI is New Asia, which is like the Asiatic countries, right?
Which I think they use as a shorthand to not specifically name any other country,
right?
Other than America. America does get name dropped a lot.
Yeah.
Like people are called Americans.
Yes.
But we never hear like the words Nepal or Japan or
Mhm.
China, right? And I think that was so that they could obfuscate and not use like real word terms,
Right.
maybe.
So halfway through the movie, it is blinking you miss it revealed that it was human error that caused the nuke to happen.
So, okay, I was going to say something about that because we never really get like, I was assuming that like, the third act of the film would be a big reveal that it was actually like maybe humans or something.
Mhm.
But like, what was how was it? I remember Ken Watanabe saying like, it wasn't us.
It was human error,
but
they blamed it on us.
Is it just his,
well, I'm almost positive that
do we see evidence of it or like
Nirmata more or less is like that's what they've told.
Right. We're only, and even in the movie, we're only basing this off of what we've been told through the government.
Yeah, there's nothing is ever shown. So
okay, it is ambiguous a little bit,
originally,
which is interesting.
Yeah, no,
it's fine.
Yeah. So originally, when the nuke goes off, my brain immediately goes to conspiracies because I've been poisoned by my online presence, and I thought to myself that Bush did a nuclear warhead on California, and use that as a false flag to justify in doing an invasion in New Asia to wipe out the AI menace, right? And so a lot of politics that I get from this film.
The nuke went off on Los Angeles 10 years before the setting of the movie.
Oh, so it's in 2045. My bad.
Yeah.
Or 55, whatever.
Yep.
Anyways.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So anyways, something that I felt was a theme in this film was imperialistic forces.
1000%.
So it was almost like it was parodying, us doing Vietnam or us doing a Middle East
Iraq, Afghanistan,
or even stuff that's happening today. So like
I was about to text you like, are you gonna let me go on like an Israel
that is, if you want to, you're more than welcome to. It's mostly your show, so by all means knock it out of the park. You already know my stance.
I was watching this movie getting some real Palestine 100%. Vibes here.
I was getting the exact same thing. Like, when the fucking tanks rolled in, the giant the StarCraft land fortresses rolled in, I was like,
and start like bombing like children and shit.
Also, so there's so much there's stuff that I appreciate, but I almost feel like Gareth like clumsily walked into these things. Like, the part where the Colonel is like sending robots that are basically suicide bombers off to go do something, and that the first one is like, I don't know if I should do this.
Yeah, he's hesitant. Will, that's one of my favorite scenes in this movie.
It's so good.
There's
right?
so much happening.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: is like
also that first robot was G14.
Yeah, it was G14.
Godzilla 2014.
All right. Well, it was really nice talking with you, Jared. But you already know my stance. I have a non talk policy about Godzilla 2014.
Oh my god!
Just kidding.
He has an NDA on Godzilla.
I do. So, anyways, but like, America's hesitant on using AI, but it's not. It's almost like.
And they have the chips that they take out of people to resume them for 30 seconds.
They're using smart computers for their targeting systems. Like, come the fuck on. They're doing it for an imperialism and not for eradicate AI.
Yeah.
It's not because they're afraid of them. It's,
1000%. Yeah.
But is Gareth smart enough to have done that? To show and not tell us? I don't fucking believe so.
See, here's the thing. If they make a sequel to this, it's going to try to answer some of those questions. It's going to be so
clumsy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say bumbling, but clumsy's better.
Because like,
yes.
The unfortunate thing is when you're watching this film, it is the best word, derivative. It's fucking derivative. It is the Blomkamp trilogy, right? It has all of the tropes. Everybody dying except for the main character. The main character doing a heroic sacrifice at the end. Somehow, like, in the middle of all the shit, reuniting with his long lost love.
His wife and child are like tied to like the existence of like the robots, or to basically changing the world. Yeah, it's got
it's got Independence Day.
It's Terminator. It's Chappie. It's Elysium. It's District 9. It's Children of Men. Like
it's StarCraft.
My wife walked into the room and she's like, "How is it?" I'm like, "It's like 10 movies wrapped in one, but it's okay."
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the moment that he strapped the fucking bomb on the nuke, I was like, "Oh, he's dead. 100%. He's dead." And, like, and then how the fuck do you have all the time in the world to go find a random fucking robot that is being held on the Nomad for no fucking reason that looks like the guy's wife? Come on, dude. Come the fuck on.
And his daughter is able to drag it that far in under 5 minutes.
In under 5 minutes? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm telling
these are just weird plot holes, but like the movie is also moving at like such a rapid pace at this point that you're like, how are they able to, what's going on?
Yeah.
And it really feels like they were rushing to wrap this movie up.
Yeah, he had no idea how he
because
wanted to
from the
end it.
moment that like him and his daughter get separated when the government lands and pulls them into separate ships, I was like, how are they going to end this? Everything that happened from then on was so outlandish. I was like, what the fuck? This could be its own movie.
Yeah, dude. Like he somehow gets away from the guys who pulled him away too. Like he's dragged away and like, okay, what's going to happen? And he shows up 2 minutes later where she's at.
He's able to disable her without killing her. And they don't know until they descramble the audio of him whispering into her ear about it. And then he like causes the ambulance to crash, but they're fine.
They're fine, but the other guys are not, and they're able to get away from dudes that have guns.
Yeah, like more and more outlandish shit. And like I realize we're just like kind of like doing like a cinema sins like plot hole kind of like this doesn't make sense. But like no, it gets so fucking outlandish that you're like, what? Like my jaw was on the floor. Like you can't keep doing this.
The suspension of disbelief.
They can't keep getting away with this.
I know, it's true. The suspension of disbelief was like really running thin towards
there was
the end
like
there.
How were they able to infiltrate Nomad so easily? There was like no defenses. All it was like one squad of dudes that he shot out the airlock.
Bro,
are you kidding me?
Like it wasn't as heavily armed as Elysium. Like come the fuck on. You know that thing would have had missile systems to blow anybody up.
They would have shot that shuttle down in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you think a couple of innocent people or anything worth the greatest weapon system that nobody can touch?
The government doesn't want anything to do with that child. They want to kill it, right?
Yes.
But they brought in him to disable her for some reason to do it humanely. And I'm like, no the fuck they won't.
No,
no the fuck they won't. Oh my God.
Oh, well, no. They didn't bring him in to do it humanely. They did it because she kept turning off the tech.
Oh, that's right. They do say that.
He was like, well, she's not going to do it to you. She trusts you. So like, just can you just kill this kid?
Also a weird plot hole. They couldn't distract her and then just shoot her with the EMP or whatever.
You think,
it just kept getting like more and more outlandish. But
in the same vein of things, there was good show don't tell stuff, right? Because
I did love him being able to serendipitously like embrace his wife on the Nomad as it's exploding. Like it made for great cinematography.
Yeah.
You know, like the climax was really incredible. Like and the girl lands in the escape pod to everyone rejoicing. And we get the Independence Day-esque ending with Nomad crashing and obviously killing thousands of people as it crash lands on Earth.
There were people running towards it as it fucking impacted the Earth. They would have been liquefied. It's fucking unreal. But anyways, what I was going to say is...
it made for a great visual, though.
Yes, it did. The thing that I liked was his evolution of treating robots as programming to treating them as real people.
Because he's spending more and more time with Alfie, the
exactly.
child.
Like he goes from referring to her as it to her, you know? And then like, I don't know, the movie had the ability to kind of delve into, well, what makes us individuals, you know, what is spirituality, all that stuff that, you know, Ghost in the Shell does, but it didn't because Gareth Edwards is unfortunately an inelegant writer.
And it feels like the movie just doesn't have enough time to do it.
That's true too.
So much
stuff to do. Yeah.
Also, I don't understand at all how John, I hate to keep harping on like stuff like this, but John David Washington, we are introduced to him as being married and having a child with this woman who is leading, we later learn is the leader of this robot resistance army.
And he had no idea.
And he doesn't even know. Well, he knows she's affiliated.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know she's the leader.
Yeah, she's the new Nirmata.
Which, fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm moving past that. How does he not see the way some of them do? Like he doesn't, it's never even implied that he picked up on some of their like beliefs, or he still has all the prejudices of the Americans that hate robots,
but
you know,
while banging a robot maker lady. Yeah.
And like, but he was embedded with them for presumably enough time to get married, engaged and married,
and have a child to
the leader of the terrorists. Like, how did he not like? Because Sturgill Simpson's character Drew says like, "You went native on me" or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, we don't. The only impression we get is because he was married to this lady, not because he was like living amongst them and learning their beliefs and like practicing that at all in his life. And he's still like, he's maybe a little more receptive to accepting Alfie as a person, but like he's not at first.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just a defense he's putting up because he doesn't want to like deal with it. And he's still upset about his wife's death. I don't know.
Oh, and he's also using it like he has to keep her alive in order to find his wife.
Right. Yeah.
So like,
but I couldn't like, how is he not like, I'm more like these people than the rest of the America who like hates robots and doesn't see them as people, you know?
Yeah.
It's just so strange to me that he didn't seem more sympathetic to the robots having been embedded with that group. You know, they're labeled as terrorists, but we learned that like they're not actually terrorists. They're just like fighting to protect themselves.
To exist.
Yeah, to exist. Yeah. Ken Watanabe like refers to him as brother throughout the whole film. And it's like, but I don't feel any solidarity.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, man.
It just purely feels like on paper he was married to this woman.
Also, how the fuck did Ken Watanabe survive, not only get shot in the chest, but a tactical nuke into Nepal?
I don't know. Robot stuff. I don't know. Having said all that, there were some great scenes. The visuals were spectacular. That suicide robot scene is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
It's so good.
There's so much cool stuff happening there.
Yeah.
Because, they don't...
He's got great concepts. Yeah. That's the problem. He's got great concepts. Whomever... Oh, did you ever see, like, there's an artist that does, like, modern day paintings... Or no, paintings like classical paintings, but have robots in the background. Like he would have one where it's, two kids in a field and there's a robot way in the background that's like tilling the land.
No.
I'll have to figure out who it is. But he has like a whole art book, and a lot of the visuals of robots, working in rice paddies or doing this, that, and the other really evoked that specific guy. And I really appreciated the concept and the visuals of that. Like, man, he had a lot of good stuff going for him. It's just he's not a good writer.
Yeah.
And his work suffers for it. And I really, really do hope that something turns around so that he doesn't end up like Blomkamp.
Yeah. Perhaps if he's able to be more of like because like Ridley Scott doesn't write his own films, right?
I don't think he does now.
No, he takes scripts and he's like, I can visualize this. I can make this into a great movie. And that's just how some directors need to be. They can't write and direct. Like, sure, he can punch up his scripts. But yeah, I think as an original writer and, screenplay writer, like maybe he should pick up scripts and be more of a journeyman director.
Yeah. What a bummer.
Yeah.
But that being said, I did very much enjoy.
Right. I'm glad this movie exists.
Same.
We need more like it.
Agreed.
It was still okay. We had so much to talk about. We were so excited to like break it down. We were so excited to talk about it. We had so much to say. Like we didn't feel like our time was wasted.
Yeah, there was a lot to discuss. That's the thing is like,
right.
God damn it, dude. He's on the fucking edge of genius, And I think that if he gave some of the creative freedom up to someone else to help organize his thoughts, he could then take all that energy and put it into directing. And until that happens, I think that his movies will continue to be middling, which will then lead to him not having a good career.
Right.
And I think that if you appreciate art or film, you will
have something to take away from this movie.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but also like the world of film will suffer without his vision.
But I say all that because like we're being overly critical of this movie
because we want him to be good.
Exactly.
Yes.
We want greater of this, but like our famously lost episode because like the recording got messed up. But we like struggled to talk about Ant-Man Quantumania.
Oh, yeah.
A movie that had 2.5 times the budget of this film.
And it was just...
And it looked like ass, and I felt nothing watching that movie. It's just, like take these Marvel movies that keep coming out and split them into like 3 or 4 like original crazy sci-fi movies. And we would be so much better for it. Because like people are like, I don't understand why people are mad about like cape shit movies. And it's like, no, this is why. Because they're taking over and they're not delivering good products. You know, like it's...
Well, it's become formulaic. And that's, that sucks because I do enjoy Marvel films. Like I am excited to watch Aquaman 2. Not because I think it's going to be good, but because I like Black Manta and I love his weaponized autism. And I'm hoping that because James Bond is literally untouchable in Hollywood, that he goes, fucking nuts and really, really just gets out there with it.
That movie had a bigger budget than Ant-Man Quantumania too. $205 million.
Did it really?
Yep.
But we will see.
But also, like, wasn't that movie apparently done 3-4 years ago?
It was done 2 years ago.
Yeah, and they just like, they just keep running
into
into roadblocks.
Warner Brothers was having their big shakeup and shit, and then.
And are they going to get rid of
Amber Heard? I think she's going to die. I think they're going to kill off her and the kid. Black Man is going to do it because he does it in the comic books, and he makes a point about it too. It's really funny.
We'll see.
Like he says, "Hey Arthur, how's the wife and kids?"
I don't see. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
If they make Black Manta kill Amber Heard and the son, I will stand up in the theater and clap. I'll be the only fucking one doing it too. They can kick me out. I don't care.
Don't go to the Alamo Draft House.
Oh no, because they'll beat me up. Like everybody will jump on me. Yeah, that's true.
It'll be banned for life.
That's definitely.
Oh my gosh. Do you have any
No, I wish
thoughts?
I could find this fucking artist. Michael showed it to me like years ago, and I was like, oh, that's really neat stuff. And now that I've seen this film, it's like, yeah, dude, they had to have gotten that guy, or Gareth Edwards had seen a piece of his art and was like, yeah, I can make something out of this. So we need more IPs. Ah, dude, Ex Machina was a really good new IP film.
Oh, 100%,
but that was like also around the same time as Pacific Rim. But like shit like that, man. We need more stuff like that. I like Marvel films, but there's a time and place for that shit, and a time and place for, you know, new IP, and we need new IP. I'm sick of like remakes that miss the point. You know, I really don't. I've heard that they're going to be remaking Starship Troopers, and like you can't do it unless you do it like Verhoeven. Unless Verhoeven is on set, like telling you what you should do.
Right, you pick a director who like really has a fucking vision.
Yeah,
and you don't let the studio come in and interfere.
No.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate
because you put Starship Troopers on paper now, like what it is, the 97 film, like not the sequels. And like, no one's going to say yes to that.
No, absolutely not.
Like, you're making a Nazi propaganda like parody with, you know, with a humongous budget and like a bunch of no-name actors. No way.
The movie fucking ruled. Such a good movie.
Honestly, though, too, like every actor except for Michael Ironside in that movie is like bad, but like it works to the film's advantage.
They're supposed to be bad.
I know, that's the crazy thing. Yeah, I even feel like Michael Ironside realizes he has to ham it up a little bit too. You know
what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Finish the job.
Rico. Okay, I'm sorry.
Come on, you apes. You want to live forever. Well, folks, thank you for listening to Debaser. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's it. Thought I was reading the wrong one. Sorry. Well, folks, thank you for listening to Debaser. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast on your podcast app or follow us on social media by searching for @DebaserPod. We also have a YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to. We are currently looking to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so please check us out on YouTube. I've been Jared Rusk, and my co-host has been Will Taylor.
That's me.
Will, where can people find you, and do you have anything to plug?
Pocket_infinity on Instagram and our YouTube channel, because that'd be really cool to be able to say this episode sponsored by Casetify, and then I can lie to you that I have like a phone case on my phone.
We use our Casetify cases every day, and you should too. Use promo code Debaser.
It's like you're just waiting for it, dude.
Oh, please give me that sweet ad revenue. Oh my god, I have a child to support. God damn it.
I don't have anything else to plug.
All right, that's a wrap. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Debaser is hosted and produced by Will Taylor and Jared Rusk. Want to email the show? Send it to podcast@debaserpod.com. Want to help us out? Please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice, especially Apple Podcasts. If you write a 5-star review of Debaser on Apple Podcasts, I may read your review in a future episode. Thank you for listening, and take care out there.